Hey, good evening and welcome, everybody. Friday night, and we got Ukraine update coming for you. We've got Samantha's Charity of the Week. We have a tale of young Starsky, and of course, news and updates and a little chatter from us all. So why don't we just kick it right into gear? We'll play a little quick banter music here, and we'll send it over to Starsky for the news.
Good day, my friends. Operator Starsky here, and today we have quite some important news. First of all, Asylum, of course. So today, excavation of 447 bodies was finished. According to our prosecutor, majority of those bodies have signs of violent death, and it is specified that among those bodies, there were 425 civilians. Among them were 5 kids and 22 soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine. Another important news of today is that after almost 7 months since the beginning of Russian invasion, the experts that were brought to Ukraine by the United Nations to study cases of atrocities in Ukraine recognized that, according to their investigation, there are signs that war crimes were committed in Ukraine. Which is basically the official recognition of those atrocities that were committed in Ukraine by Russian troops. Russians keep using Iranian drones in Ukraine. So in Friday, today, in Odessa, there were multiple explosions during the air alarm, and Iranian kamikaze drones Shahed-136 were spotted. And one of the buildings in the city was destroyed. Unfortunately, 1 civilian died. Another drone, fortunately, was destroyed over the sea. And yesterday, in the area of Mykolaiv, 4 Iranian drones were shot down by Ukrainian anti-air defense. Also, earlier today, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, asked our Minister of Foreign Affairs to prepare an official response to the embassy of Iran in Ukraine. And just a couple hours ago, we received information that the ambassador of Iran in Ukraine will be sent out of the country. And the personnel of Iranian embassy will be shortened or decreased. Which is almost all the news. Also, Mr. Stoltenberg today said that NATO will definitely respond in case Russia uses nuclear weapons in Ukraine, and this response will be appropriate, and it will depend on the type of nuclear weapons that can be used in Ukraine. We're talking about different types of weapons, like tactical nuclear weapons. They have different purpose. They have different, let's say, damage potential, and it will depend on the type of nuclear weapons that Russians might use against Ukrainian troops or civilian population. And also the United Nations, together with other countries, are ready to introduce rapid steps to hit Russia economically in case they start implementing the scenario of annexation of those occupied territories of Ukraine, where those fake referendums are taking place, which was stated by Speaker of the White House, Karine Jean-Pierre. Basically, we're talking about economic sanctions. And it's I think that we will learn more details about such steps a bit later, but I really hope that they have a plan for this case.
It's as soon as the N-word nuclear comes into the discussion, it's a very scary thing. You know, for that hasn't been a total fear in life for a lot of people for a while, and I'm as much as the world's coming down pretty hard on Russia as it is right now, that would have to be a line in the sand moment where it's just absolutely not okay. Like, it would have to be stronger than strong, in my opinion. I'm no politician. I don't know much about, playing it nice and playing the sides and whatnot, but it just can't be an option. It just can't.
Well, it's kind of scary the way that Starsky casually sort of like described that that this is now on the table as far as the Russians concerned. It's
yes,
yeah. Eek.
What more can I say? I mean, we were talking in the previous stream about it with Nick, and basically we cannot offer anything in return, because we gave out our nuclear weapons in the 90s, and currently we are being threatened with nuclear weapons ourselves. So there's not much we can do, but we can continue fighting for our land and for our people until we're breathing.
The further Russia pushes this, the worse it's going to be for them in the end, with the way the world is going to treat them. To go to that extreme, though, would put you in a situation where you're ostracized from the world community more than anybody in recent memory. I don't think any country can possibly afford to do that in the modern world.
Russians don't care. It's in their culture.
I just want to throw something out there as well. If the it seems like Putin's hedging his bets, so he's putting all his eggs in one basket and just hoping that something could be figured out concerning China, India, just by sheer number of population, and they could figure out some sort of new order of the world. I don't want to say new world order. That's a bit conspiracy, but you know what I mean. It's like a new power structure for the world that isn't dollar based, and I think that's a bit of a push given the direction that China's economy is going in, and I am not particularly aware of what the situation is in India, but I would put money on the West right now. So I really find it quite extraordinary, but not particularly intimidating, that we are actually now conceptualizing the idea of having these discussions about nuclear weapons. I mean, if we need protocol in place, and I'm glad that there is some form of leadership, because we don't typically trust very many of our politicians, despite us electing them. And I don't know exactly who, if anyone, elects NATO officials, how they come about. Maybe Nick might know a bit more about that.
If I recall, whoever is the commander of NATO is elected by the member states, and I think the states can send representatives whoever they want, and they can the member countries can send who they want, and the supreme commander is elected. That's my recollection, but that's all I got.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was like a rotated president, like there is for a few different organizations.
I don't remember. You'd think I'd know that,
Okay.
but I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's something that we could look up very quickly, I suppose.
And Starsky, in the area of pushbacks, there's been some good results for Ukraine in the last little bit. The news seems to be pretty positive on that aspect, at least.
Yes, it's true. We have some positive news that will be probably published tomorrow by our officials.
Great.
We cannot make them public today, but soon we'll learn some good news from the area where our counteroffensive takes place.
Excellent. Can't wait. It's I find myself a couple of times a day refreshing a general news search in Google News, just looking for that next report, because there's after that big push that was so well done with the whole fake, and you think we're doing this and we're doing that. There's got to be more coming, right? Oh yeah, I can't wait. This will be good.
So according to our journalists that work on the ground right now, it's their information from their sources. So Russian Sober was surrounded not far from Liman, and Sober is basically, it's like their police special force unit, but this unit was kind of created from practically untrained people, and in the beginning of this counter offensive, they ran out of Balaklia. I think they ran out of Izium, and then they were brought to this Liman, around the area of Liman, and we have information that they are surrounded, which is great. But again, we have to wait for official news. Let's not spread rumors around.
Yeah, very much so. There was a couple of questions in from the chat here so far. Acroat74, Acroat, I'm not sure if I got that right or not. You'll have to correct me. Operator Starsky, with that background, you look like Lando's buddy Lobot in Empire Strikes Back.
Thank you so much. And this is my good buddy from Croatia, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Oh, AK Croatia 74. Okay, yeah, that makes sense now. Excellent. And
yeah,
then
nice
there was
to see you here, buddy.
Cool. Graham Price in the chat, member for a year here around here, so family member. Awesome. Starsky, the Russian people won't allow it, will they? I'm pretty sure we're talking about nukes, right? Or would finally start turning against him in higher numbers?
The problem with Russian people is that all Russian people I know are currently fighting in Ukraine in Russian Liberation Battalion. The rest, unfortunately, I don't think that we can rely on them. A lot of Russian activists or pacifists rather decided to run away from Russia as soon as this mobilization started, instead of protesting, instead of doing something useful, probably hoping like for some aliens to come to the Earth and do this job for them, which doesn't work. I checked. And another problem is that their peaceful protests don't work in a despotic totalitarian country.
Yeah, last time I looked, neither Giorgio Tsoukalos or Eric von Daniken were either generals of any merit, so I don't think they'll have much to help when it comes to the aliens. It's just...
Well, it's interesting you say that the protests don't work, but there's been a resurgence in the protests recently after the mobilization, or the call for mobilization. Before that, they knew they were going to get arrested, so they've been very, very, very quiet. And so now they're sort of like getting out into the streets, and thousands of Russians are being arrested. I know you're right in the fact that it's not going to do anything, but the awareness surely must be increasing.
So as of this morning, they arrested only 1,300 people around Russia. I say only because, for example, during the protests on Bolotna Street, I think there were like tens of thousands of people present, and thousands were arrested. I could be wrong, of course, but they are able to bring much more people on the streets. And another thing is that, guys, peaceful protests don't work in Russia. The only working thing to remove totalitarian regime is probably Molotov cocktails and things like that. I mean, I'm talking from my experience.
Well, to be honest with you, peaceful protests don't do a lot anywhere, but they do only bring awareness to a situation. I don't know. It might be trickling down through the rest of the Russian population. God knows what they'll do with that information, and God knows what they'll do if they change their minds and wanted to take Putin out, but they won't be able to do it.
I wouldn't say so, because democracy, like, sometimes to make democracy work, to make it possible, you have actually to fight for it. And then after this fight is finished, you can build democratic country like we did here in Ukraine. But yeah, there is time for protesting peacefully, and there's time for Molotovs.
Yeah, knowing the difference is good, and knowing how to make them is good. Sorry there, DK.
No. Do you think the Russian people might have it in them to actually rise up in that way? I mean, they've done it before. A long time ago.
All those people are now in Ukraine.
Yeah, they're all left. They're all on flights. The first flight out.
Yeah, or somewhere in Georgia, chilling and drinking Georgian wine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I must admit, I was really surprised how fast the mobilization kicked in, because Putin only sort of like announced it a couple of days ago, and then like hours later, they seem to be knocking on the doors of people to drag them off into conscription and put them on buses. I'm quite surprised how fast it's been.
I think it's because he realized that he actually risks of losing those Russian-controlled territories of Ukraine very, very fast, because they see that our counteroffensive is so efficient. They see that they lack personnel big time, and they cannot afford efficiently defending those territories that are captured. So I think that he's just afraid of losing everything. On the other hand, preparation of their vehicles, transportation, logistics to make this mobilization possible will take much more time, in my opinion. Of course, they can start confiscating civilian vehicles, civilian trucks. That might happen, and that can improve the speed of this mobilization. So we should be prepared for that as well.
Well, I'll only bring one more thing up, and then I'll shut up and let Dave get on with the questions and stuff. Because also on that fact of the mobilization, are they actually going to be able to rearm them? Because a lot of their technology was from the West. As you know, the chips, are they all going to be being, all their technology is going to be missiles, going to be based on Chinese washing machine chips?
They will definitely rearm them with something much worse, because they have a lot of old weapons in their storages. They have a lot of old uniform, things like that. A lot of their things don't work. Their equipment, it's very, very old. So I think that like, we're not talking about improving anything in Russian army. Is going to be vice versa.
AK-47 lightly used, dropped only once.
Yeah.
Gonna break open that museum of sharp sticks.
Yeah. Well, I was hearing from Torsten there. You just had him on for a chat there, Operator Starsky. And he was talking about in a stream just the other day about how some of the tanks are just like they were left outside under tarps. So like some of the stuff they're bringing into action right now is been sitting a long time. Like, that's just not good. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, it's true. So they have a lot of outdated vehicles, but they also have a lot of those tanks that were stored in open air conditions. Of course, we're talking about like decades of winters and autumns, all those rains and snows, and literally nobody cared about those vehicles. So majority of them, I would say, are not combat ready.
Yeah.
But again, they have like thousands of them, so they can arm couple brigades easily with some old crap like T-34s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but most of their logistics infrastructure. So they were able to. They delayed the announcement on the calling up the 300,000 troops. They delayed that a day so that they could actually get people over there, because they realized everyone's just going to leave the country. So they delayed that so that they could just show up to your house with a gun and say, okay, you're coming with us. But they can't bring them all to the front lines. They can't bring them food. They can't bring them fuel. And they don't have the uniforms, and the temperature is dropping rapidly in Ukraine. So I'd be surprised if more than 10% of these people can actually get to the front lines. What do the numbers look like to you?
So according to American intelligence, I think that this mobilization is gonna fail big time. They predict that, but they also predicted that we were gonna give up in 3 days. So I don't know whom to trust in this case.
We have a super chat that came in there. I should scroll back and see if we're ready to get to. Amy's power's been dropping in and out over at her place throughout the show here, so I don't know if she's ready or not. Oh, maybe?
I am actually. And I've got a cool tool back here. I'm learning how to get the words that are in Cyrillic so I can pronounce them somewhat okay.
Cool.
Thank you. But we have a super chat from Sam Williams for New Zealand $20. Says, Putin is huilo. Thank you so much, Sam. And, and then we just got another super chat in from Christina Forgard for €19.99. Says, what is the best way to support the Ukrainian POWs, especially mental health services? That's a good question. Can you talk about the need for help like this?
First of all, Sam now speaks Ukrainian better than me. And I completely support her statement. I confirm that Putin is huilo. As for POWs, unfortunately, I cannot tell you much about it, because POWs are current responsibility of our security service of Ukraine and our counter-espionage service. So they probably know better, but unfortunately, I don't have connection to them.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and thank you for your support.
Absolutely. And I know Dave had a couple of questions lined up, so we'll send it over his way.
Sure thing. This is an obvious one from no last name as well. Asks about your thoughts on the separatist referendums. I mean, is it any real surprise what those are going to turn out to be? Is it going to be an 80 number, a 90% number? I mean, what numbers are they making up in Russia these days?
So I stumbled upon a news article about this because obviously the intelligence already knows numbers that will be published after those referendums, but like nobody cares about them in Ukraine whatsoever.
Well, what the numbers decide before the referendums?
It's a normal thing in Russia. It is.
I heard Putin's already tried to jail the opposition, but he could find anyone to actually to oppose him because he's just in his own little echo chamber on his own.
Wow.
Yeah. Here in Ukraine, we have a saying, you are already demonetized, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Is that the saying?
We're live, right? You know?
So this is a traditional Ukrainian saying, "Ебала жаба гадюку," which means that the frog fucked the viper, and it's a complete description of what is happening between like Putin and the opposition.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't taken a few more of them out. I don't know why he's still got. Is it Navalny in prison? He's still got an audience. I saw him recording some sort of interview or something along those lines the other day.
Yeah, I saw his interview in prison, which is interesting fact, of course. But Navalny, it's like he's better than Putin, of course. But we have a lot of questions to Navalny. Like the during the protests, I think on Bolotna Street in Moscow, as soon as Navalny was arrested, he started making like selfies from the police car. Like, yeah, look at me, and it was a big trend. Like couple of years later, I think, we were burning those police cars in Kiev. Like, we don't understand that way of protesting. It doesn't work.
Any more over there, Dave?
Yeah, sure, definitely. You could just stop me at any time. Raven7 was asking, I saw the report on one Russian student. He didn't even know from the night before he was conscripted, then away with his father saying goodbye. Crazy. What a fate. Fire emoji. I mean,
Wow.
If you got anything else on the whole conscription thing, it does seem a little, again, a little backward. I know, from Russia. Surprise, surprise. But you know, it doesn't seem like we're living in. It's like we're living in two completely different eras. You know.
Yeah, we're living in two completely different realities, planets maybe. But this is how it is. I mean, this is how it is in Russia. And I can say that finally, Putin brought war into every Russian house that could be expected, that was expected, basically.
Does you, in this scenario, does it get interpreted by Russian families that Putin is killing their family by sending them off to war?
Bro, one word. Lada. Lada. It's a free car that you receive as a compensation.
Oh, sorry, that's straight over my head. No, I know what you mean. No, I know what that is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
gosh.
poorly built Fiat 124 license that's just.
Ah, sorry, that took me a second. Okay, right. Yeah, wow. So, I mean, in that case, we're really just waiting for him to let his alleged cancer get to him, because, or maybe somebody in his back room to just do something to his herbal late night tea, perhaps.
Yeah, he's gonna accidentally fall on a knife 16 times or something.
And a special dropping operation or something like that.
Something like that, or you know, those murderous windows.
Yes, Mr.
Could be an
Mr.
option.
Putin, we've got some new windows installed. Come and look at the view.
Now, does the guy still have that $1 million bounty on LinkedIn? Because it seems to me, you're eligible for that if you take out Putin. I think that should still be a thing.
I was permitted secret access to NASA's time machine, and I actually know for a fact that the last words Putin will hear before his death are, "Hey, Julius." just.
One day, lad, all this will be yours. What? The
we got a couple of super chats in, so we'll hand it over to Aimee here, and we'll give everybody their due for helping to support the channel. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. The first one is from Marco Endler for 10 euros, who says, after the referendum, the areas will be annexed to Russia. Do you think that they will then station their conscripts there in the fall? Another 120,000 will be drafted.
Yes, absolutely. That can happen. For example, when they first thing they did after annexation of Crimea, they conscripted a lot of young boys that probably were like celebrating the arrival of Russian troops to Crimean Peninsula, and those guys were sent to some hotspots like Dagestan, Ossetia, and some of them were sent to like far away to Vladivostok and Kurila Islands. I think they were so happy. Definitely something similar may happen here. They can bring more conscripts, but and I'm sure that they will. They will definitely. They're not good fighters, of course, as we already tested in February and March. But yeah, they're still troops. They still have weapons, and again, like we should not underestimate their numbers, because all this mobilization, it's like something that was supposed to happen in February or before February, before this invasion, but they overestimated their power, and currently Putin does those steps that are delayed so much. He is so late, so we will see.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And then we have a super chat from Mando Cool Cat for $20 American. And I'm going to slaughter this, so I apologize in advance. I don't want to be disrespectful. It says, greetings from Oregon. You'd think after Balaklia SOBR would learn about the danger of rings. Some Ukrainian I've learned. Peremoha za Ukraini, Ruski mobilizovana, stane Sonia Shnikovoyu. Yijeo says Slava Ukraini. Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Great attempt. Wow.
Yeah, sounds awesome. I agree on that. The saying was that the mobilized troops will turn into sunflowers. So that's exactly what's going to happen.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we also have a super chat from Level 70 for Canadian $13.99 who says, Operator Starsky, do you expect the counteroffensive to slow down after the Russian reserves start entering Ukraine in a couple of weeks? Or is it going to be like killing orc zombies? Thank you so much, everyone, for your support.
We saw the worthiness of mobilized men in Donbass. I mean, already after the beginning of this invasion, which is practically zero, that worthiness. And yeah, it will probably look like, you know, some popular movie about you know, shooting zombies and stuff. In my opinion, it's like they mobilize people who don't want to fight in places other than YouTube commentaries. They have zero motivation, so I don't expect any significant difficulties from that.
All right. So let's see here. 2:40 my time anyway, Pacific. So we got good timing so far here. I think we got time for a couple more questions in, and then we're gonna get to Samantha W's charity of the week. So yeah, we'll give it to Dave.
Chariot.
Yeah, charity. Yeah.
Horses.
Yeah. I totally tripped all over myself on that one. Dave, take it away. I'm going to shut the hell up right now.
That would be an advance on what Russia's using right now. John Elliott says, just a comment really. Hey, Starsky, my brother, great to see you are alive and well, brother, and that you're in good health, though exhausted and going through so much shit. It's great to see you're alive, brother. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can only say that whatever we're going through here in Kyiv doesn't compare to what our guys experience in the areas where our counteroffensive takes place. So yeah, unfortunately, we're still losing men, and it's horrible because like those like people. We know, I know, but they're doing a great job, and I keep repeating this, but they are heroes.
No complaints here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were a couple of questions about humor as well from William and Patricia. So there's a couple here. Is Gallows humor still alive and well at the front? And I heard that Zelensky had a good joke about Putin. Wondered if you knew what it might be.
I don't think I know, unfortunately. Sorry.
It's a shame. That's okay.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got a few super chats in again. So if Amy's there and ready, we'll turn it over to her, and then we'll do the Samantha W's charity of the week. See, I can do this, man. I can do this.
Absolutely. Yes, we do have two super chats. The first one is from Mystery Man for Australian $9.80. Says, I found the video that I guess Perun put out on YouTube last week to be quite funny. Australian YouTuber economic and logistic analysis. And then we have Anthony Bestwick for £5 says, do you think it will be like the movie Enemy at the Gate? Troops turn up and told to just attack or be shot? Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
It can be like that because we had like rumors that Kadyrovites are used as those Zagrada Triady, specific unit that was used to shoot those deserters. We can expect anything because the more actions we see from Russians, the more we understand that they try to mimic both Nazi Germany and that Bolshevik army in all regards. So yeah, we can expect that as well.
All right. I am going to clear the screen here, and we are going to do Samantha's shout out of the week here. So let me hit my magic button. Oh, yeah. Perfect timing. And this week we've got Ukraine Aid Oops. Cool name. They're a group of civilians securing protective equipment for Ukraine and delivering it directly, avoiding intermediaries where it is needed most. We are your help to source. Buy and deliver safety goggles, boots, gloves, hearing protection, helmets, flak jackets, knee pads, survey multi-role airborne drone and vehicles for those in at-risk frontline locations. So obviously worth your time. The link will be posted by the Streamlabs bot in a couple of minutes here, and you'll be able to check it out. So yes, Sam's charity of the week is Ukraine Aid Oops. Link coming up. Thanks, Sam. Awesome. Oh, I can make the little thingy go away at the top too. Watch.
I think it's ops, not oops. You put ops when you type something wrong, and you.
Oh
mean oops.
yeah.
This isn't oops. It's ops.
That's funny. I do that so often. It's not funny. It's just me trying to skip and type less things, and now it's actually screwing me up in life. But yeah, everybody gets it, right? That's funny. Look what I did, Sam. I made a hash of it. Here, we'll hit her little stinger again just to kind of warm that over. All right, nothing to see here. Move along. Link coming up. Oh, I think the bot seems to be screwing up, so I'm going to have to go into the background and tell it to do the damn link again. So let's see if Dave's got a question for us so I can shut up and do my thing in the background for a minute.
Sure, I wasn't too sure if Nick had something to say first. He hasn't spoken too much yet. I didn't want to speak over him. I know we had limited time last week.
Yeah, I usually only have about an hour. These are our Fridays are family days, but I was it's like, come on, so I do try to carve out that hour when I can do it. So thank you very much. And good to see you, Starsky. It's been so long. I missed you. Man. It's been like 2 hours.
Likewise, buddy. Yeah, it was like eternity.
Yeah. So I did have a question. So there's as you know, there's always a kind of a question of who's going to be able to control the media and get their story out there the best. And Ukraine seems to have almost revolutionized that front. I mean, starting at the beginning when Russia literally tried several false flags, and were mobilizing based on these false flags. And within 45 minutes, Ukraine's like, no. Here we are at the actual scene, and we got the cameras. What has been the in your view, why has Ukraine been so successful in getting their story out? Why have they been successful in talking about what's been going on? And do you think they will be able to keep that success going?
We weren't bad at the beginning because we faced this hybrid aggression. In 2014, we had a lot of time to, develop our informational strategies and informational tools. The only problem was the financial side, because Russians literally had all the money in the world to fuel their propaganda and use those money to produce fakes, numerous fakes. I think the answer is pretty simple, because as soon as their main channels got blocked on the West, I'm talking like Russia Today, for example, multiple bloggers, and I'm also talking about Facebook. Yeah, they started losing, and in my opinion, it's beautiful, because like, propaganda is an evil, and I'm really glad that in Ukraine we don't do that. We prefer truth, even if it's bad for our image. But there's also it means that we can improve something, which is always great. So yeah, that's why we talk about things that are inconvenient for us. We talk about corruption because it's something that we have to fight in case we want to join the European family. So yeah, that's one of the reasons, I would say. And and another reason is that in 2018 I was promoted to press officer. I'm just joking.
Well, that goes without. I mean, well, I had assumed you'd lead off with that. That was obviously the more important and most contributing factor. So I don't know why you buried the lead on that one, but okay. So the other question I had was, actually, well, two questions. So I'll do two questions. One, since you brought up the EU, does Ukraine still have an interest in joining the EU and/or NATO, and are they going to pursue that? That first of all. Second of all, you had brought up money. They've hired a lot of freelance soldiers, Wagner Group, and so on. Has there been a noticeable? Are they noticeable on the battlefield? Do Ukrainian soldiers say, "Okay, we're not fighting Russians in this area. We are fighting the Wagner Group, and so we have to realize now we're dealing with soldiers that are a concern," or are they just in the background and nobody notices them?
There are specific areas of the front line where Wagner Group was spotted, where they are operating at this time. There's different specifics, different units, different specifics. Some of them are stronger, some of them are weaker. Wagner Group, again, there's like different people. There are like they're experienced dudes who fought like in Syria. There are like convicts. Of course, it means a lot of problems with discipline, with morale, and stuff like that. I can say that problems with discipline, it's something that we are acquainted with after enlisting, for example, volunteers from civilian, like with civilian background. Because people who didn't serve in the army, they like to, it's absolutely normal thing among civilians, for example, in the office when you can discuss some decisions of your boss or something like that. You can say, I don't like it, it sucks. It's very different in the army when you have to follow your orders and you have to achieve the the goals. So it's different. As for convicts, it's even more different because they are this this society in prison. Its main foundation is doing everything against authorities, like having no authorities over themselves. And you can imagine what kind of army they have in case they try to build army of convicts. It's crazy. They literally have to have some kind of unit that will just march behind their backs with Kalashnikovs and literally shoot everybody who wants to run away.
Well, they might not have any Kalashnikovs because the convicts might have sold them all on the black market.
Well, there was, let's see, we have a super chat and a donation in, do we? Yes, we do. I wonder if Aimee's handy and we could get a couple of shout outs in.
We sure can. Excuse the sirens in the background. It's Matthew playing a video. But so Raven7 donated 20, it looks like 20 pounds. It says, hey, Shills and Starsky, you're seducing me with cat memes. Anyhow, is anyone aware of the safeguards, if any, Russia has against nuclear weapons? and Slava Ukraini.
Lead umbrellas.
What? Yeah.
So there's this joke. The scariest Russian missile is called Sызrань, and Sызrань is the name of Russian town. You can already imagine this town. So this missile is very, very powerful and very scary, so to say, because in case it hits London, for example, or Paris or any European city, it's gonna turn it into Sızrань. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. And then was there a super chat in there too, Aimee? She might
Yes,
be
there
busy.
was.
Oh, okay, there you are.
Yes, there was. We have one from level 70 for Canadian $6.99. Says, "Hi Starsky, do you see Lyman being liberated next week? The Russians are apparently surrounded there."
Mm.
It's like, if I tell you this, I will be fired from the National Guard. Just wait for the news, okay?
There we go. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for your support.
Yes, very much. Thank you. Excellent. Let's see here. We're almost coming up on the hour where I'm going to trigger another little thing, and we'll change the feel a tiny bit. So, Dave, if you want to get in a couple more questions, or Nick there, if you wanted to jump in, perfect timing.
I do think on the nuclear question, there's two rather significant problems. I think first of all, the assumption is that Putin would not use, say, an intercontinental ballistic missile. He would use something much smaller that's a TAC nuke that you could deploy, and would not have nearly as much fallout and collateral damage, but it's still a nuclear weapon. But many of those presumably don't work and can't be triggered, and there's also a large number of steps for deployment of them in Russia. It's not as simple as it is in the U.S. In the U.S., the president is informed that we're under attack. Whatever, he makes a decision. He notifies, I think it's CENTCOM, and then CENTCOM, activates the missiles, and there you go. There's really only 2 or 3 people in the entire chain. My understanding, and I'd ask Commander McMillan this question, is that there's about 20 people in the chain, and if only one of them says, I ain't going to do it, they don't try to deploy the weapon. And nowadays, if they did try to deploy it, nobody knows what would happen. 20% of the Ukrainian Air Force has been absolutely incredible, but 20% of the planes that have been downed, it's because there were mechanical failures on the Russian side, their own planes. They kept those up, relatively speaking. They have not been keeping up the nuclear arsenal. So it's not something you can rely on. Don't sit there and say he can't deploy nuclear weapons, but it's going to be a lot harder than it looks. It's still possible, but it's going to be a challenge for them, I think.
It's like trying to predict the future using like tarot cards, or like hoping that Putin has cancer, or like hoping that one of the curses performed by Ukrainian babushka is gonna hit him, which may work, by the way. I think that babushkas are much more reliable in this regard.
All right. Well, I'm going to need to get going, but thank you guys very much for having me on. Good to see all of you again. Thank you for your support. Thank you for having me on. Good to see you again, Starsky, Dick, everyone, and have a great rest of your show.
Awesome.
Thank you
Take
so
care,
much,
Nick.
Nick. It's good to see you again.
Cool. All right. So why don't we flip the script, as you say, and we'll go with... Starsky. Tell us a story from young Starsky days.
Oh my God. Let me
If
think.
only on screen for that moment you had Starsky with his head in his hands.
I know.
You were on screen, Dick, and I'm looking at it on the Google Meets here, and Starsky's going, "Oh God!"
Hey, for those that didn't see it, he totally pulled the Picard face palm. It was unbelievable.
Okay, so we had a new year. We had a new year. It was like Soviet times. In Soviet times, we would gather in an officers' club in that town where we lived. It was near Chernihiv, and there would be like this Soviet party with like Dedushka Moroz, which is like a copy paste of Santa Claus, and the Snegurочка. I'm not sure if you have like equal of Snegurочка. It's like Santa Claus's niece or something like that, granddaughter. Anyways, so we would prepare to this party. Of course, we were like kids, 4 or 5 years old. My brother was a bandit. He was. And he would have like pistols and grenades and stuff like that. He didn't change. And I was Buratino. So Buratino is a copy-paste of Pinocchio. Yeah. Once I was a wooden boy. And so because we didn't have costumes, we had to make them ourselves. And I had this red, Pinocchio's hat. And my mom made a nose, and it was sharp. It was sharp, like a spear. And it was her biggest mistake because I was 4 years old. I didn't literally understand what Pinocchio was. So I decided that I wasn't a Pinocchio. I was a bird from hell that has to kill everybody with this sharp nose. So I was literally running around the Christmas tree, trying to strike as much kids as I could with the nose. Luckily, I didn't kill nobody. Probably because I don't run that fast. But it was funny. It was funny, and my mom was asked not to give me sharp objects after that. Yeah, but it was cool. I mean,
Someone please get hold of Mama Starsky. I hope there's photos.
Oh, that was a good one, buddy. Awesome. For those wondering, that's baby Starsky there on the stream.
yeah. The only thing you cannot see is like armored diaper. It's supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a prototype too. They based the whole program around baby Starsky, man. He's been all that in a bucket of chicken since day one, fellow babies. That's funny. Well, had to put it on you. Just, such a funny little idea. So I bet we have a couple of questions and comments that Dave could get to now. Why don't you take us through a couple there, buddy?
Just having a quick issue with my earpiece. I assume that was me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to replace it in AFK just in a moment. So there was a number of interesting questions. Papa was asking, how can I, a Canadian, join the Ukrainian army? Is that even possible? Is that allowed?
Yeah, sure. So in Ukraine, you can join Ukrainian armed forces. It's a contract service, so you receive salary and stuff. And I'm not sure about requirements because I'm not in armed forces. I'm in the National Guard. But it's possible. And eventually, the soldiers, the foreign soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine receive citizenship. So it's completely legal.
Fair enough. Yeah, interesting. I hope that answers the question, Papa.
Well, just very briefly though, what is the salary for these people? Do you know? Is it well paid, or is it like your minimum wage?
Yeah, it's not bad.
You get paid
it
in
can't
freedom.
be great. I mean, it can't be great. I mean, you guys are fighting a fucking war. You know, it's not. So yeah, I'm just curious. That's all. I'm thinking I'm signing up. I'll be fucking useless.
Like, you know that in Ukraine everything is very, very cheap. It's like you can buy a bottle of beer for like something like $1. Probably less. Something like that.
Dick hasn't signed up.
How much does the beer cost in Canada, for example?
Anywhere from about $8.99 pre-tax for a 6-pack of cans to about 12 or 13 for, higher end stuff.
And how much is one bottle?
355 ml.
Something
so you get 2 liters.
Like half a liter.
Yeah. Close. Yeah.
Yeah, and how much does it cost?
It's about about $9 for the cheap brands, up to about 14
per bottle.
No, for a 6-pack. For a 6-pack.
Say it's like $2 for you convert. Trying to do some quick maths, I would say converting it would be like $2 for half a liter.
Oh yeah, so it's in Ukraine. It's like twice cheaper, and
wow.
Yeah, and everything is much cheaper in Ukraine. So you can basically you can count how much you're spending in your country, for example, in the UK or in Canada or the United States, and you can buy twice as much stuff for the same money here in Ukraine, probably even more.
Wow.
And that's why the salary in the armed forces currently is almost $1,000 per month, plus another $1,000 like additional payments, wartime payments. Plus, if you're operating on the front line, you receive extra $3,000, which it's a big money in Ukraine.
Bad.
Yeah, you can.
That's not bad at all.
You can upkeep your family.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you don't have floods of immigrants coming from all over the place saying, "Yeah, I'll do that for that kind of money." Send some half the money back home.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have like big salaries here. I mean, somebody with education working in some commercial company in communications, for example, could earn something like $2,000 a month, and it was big money. You could upkeep your family and feed your dog and buy stuff. So currently, it's like huge money, and it's totally worth it. I mean, that's why. For example, people who spent these 6 months on the front line, they can afford new car. I mean, something good, something like BMW X5, probably. And they can basically buy an apartment. Wow. And I'm talking only about
Russians don't blow it up.
Yeah, I'm only talking about like the wartime payment, because you still have separately you still have a salary that is again not a small salary.
Wow. That's quite the difference, because I mean, I can only imagine in Russia you get, a dried fish, a quart of beer, and a slap to the back of the head. So,
Lada, bro. Don't forget about Lada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. You get that little pile of rust in a paper bag. Well, it was a car yesterday, but there was, I'm trying to find it here. There was Alice Hain. Sorry if I got that totally bad. Operator Starsky, can you tell me, have you received the M55S tanks from Slovenia?
Yes, according to what I saw in the news from our official media, we have received those tanks. They were modernized and they're in good shape. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Dave made it back. Corrective measures on the audio system? No? Oh, bummer. We'll have to make do a little bit in the background there. I am going to switch over to the questions here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, come on, Dick. We can fake it from here on in.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I can still sort of read, although judging by my performance so far today, I'm not 100% sure. But John Mulholland asked, apparently the FSB have been sending electronic warfare cockroaches into the locations of the live streams. Just ask the enforcer. You got to watch those damn Russian hackers, eh? They always come as tiny little insects.
And spiders too.
Oh, yeah. But they're not the spiders from Mars, because Bowie wouldn't play that way, man. No way. Wretched Youth had a question here. Why doesn't Georgia try to take control of their Russian regions while Russia's busy with Ukraine?
Because currently their relations with Russia kind of improved. So they had this government that supported Russians for quite a while. So yeah, that's a problem. And that's basically the reason why Russians flee to Georgia. And yeah, they still have a bunch of their territories like South Ossetia and Abkhazia under Russian control. Those territories, oh my God, like I saw a video from some blogger who traveled to Abkhazia, and you must know that Abkhazia is basically like so imagine if Las Vegas was in California on a shore. That would be like Abkhazia. So in Soviet times, for example, it was a famous spot for for all the tourists. They had a lot of like beaches and hotels and things for people who wanted to just spend their vacation or things like that, or rest, or it's a ruin. It looks like Pripyat in Chernobyl. I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy. I will try to find this link and post it somewhere, like probably on my channel, so you could just realize. And again, it's like, why do Ukrainians like West so much? Because take a look at those countries that were rebuilt by West, like Germany, Japan. Then take a look at those areas that were liberated. Yeah, let's call it liberation. That were liberated by Russia. Abkhazia, South Ossetia, Kurila Islands. Oh my God. That's basically the short answer to why Ukrainians like West.
There was a couple of comments here from Dave Oz I want to get out right away. Ukraine completed exhumation of 440 plus bodies at the mass burial site in liberated Izium. Only 21 people were soldiers, while the rest were civilian, including children. Medical expert recorded bodies with ropes around their necks, bound hands, broken limbs, gunshot injuries. Several men had missing reproductive organs. That's some seriously fucked up shit, man.
Yeah.
Before or after?
Huh?
Never mind. I was being
Oh,
shitty.
I should have known. Jesus. But yes, that's some hellish shit, man. What the hell? Like, how do we even respond? What do you say? You know, that's yeah, Papa. It's disgusting. Fucking orcs. Let's see. Dave, are you having audio issues? Are you okay over there? Or no, sad face. Damn. All right. Hey, you're gonna have to put up with a couple of us reading some shit out and whatnot now. Sorry about your luck here.
Well, actually, I do have 2 super chats.
Oh, perfect timing. Yeah.
So the first one is from Putin will hang in the middle of the Kremlin for Australian $5. This was a good one. In one of Starsky's video shorts, someone commented that we should have special just for orcs called unboxing video of toilet. I like that idea. So that's a nice thing to lighten up everything. So that was good. And then M2M for £5 said, all I have to say is hashtag baby Starsky. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Those are brilliant. Those are good to lighten up the mood. Thank you.
Here, I'll bring the picture up for a minute for that super chat. Well done. Let's see here. Oh, Samantha Williams just snuck in under the wire there, Amy. Should we grab that one while we're at it here?
Sure, absolutely. We have one for New Zealand, $20 from Sam Williams, who says, eternal memory to the fallen Ukrainians and heroes. And a quote I read recently, we shall draw from the heart of suffering itself the means of inspiration and survival. And that quote was from Winston Churchill. Thank you so much, Sam.
Oh, good one. Yeah, thanks, Sam. That's awesome.
Now do it in his voice, Amy.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
Well, never. We will all fight on the beaches.
Yeah. So let's see here. We've got a little bit of time yet. We don't want to go the full 2 hours. Starsky already had a big stream today and whatnot, and already getting late. And then it gives me a little chance to run across the street and hit the store between this and pub chat. So it all works out perfect that way. We should have a looking back on how life was in the music days. Starsky, give us a story from musical times, hanging with the band, jamming. One of those moments where, maybe it was hilarious, maybe everything just clicked and it was excellent, but you know what I mean?
We were drinking a lot.
Can't remember.
Yeah, we were drinking a lot. I would wake up in random places, sometimes totally unexpected places. It was cool. Yeah. So like together with my most recent band, which was in 2010. It's like when I actually had band that consisted of other people except me. Yeah, because musicians are usually assholes. That's why I decided to play myself. And we had this gig in Kiev. It was called the Global Battle of the Bands. Actually, it's like a big international competition between musicians, and we participated in the Global Battle of the Bands 2009. So we were playing like our songs that I wrote. It was nice. It wasn't bad. I think at the beginning of this concert, this competition, I went straight to the bar. I ordered two shots. I drank them both, and the bartender was like, "Everything okay?" So yeah, like that's what we did, and after that we got trashed, like completely.
So
It was cool.
I'm disappointed with Battle of the Bands sort of things because there's not much fighting going on. Oh, you know, if it's going to be a Battle of the Bands, you know, it should really like fucking arm up and you know, like what was it like that that film? Can't remember the film. Never mind. We just get onto the teeth. Let's get on the stage and fight. Never mind this.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
So it's like when you gather those musicians, you give them random tools like swords, baseball bats, and stuff, and they're like line against line, you know, and they start fighting each other. That like
that scene from Ron Burgundy. That was the film I was trying to think of, where you got just like a big fight in the park.
Yeah. So we had like Fight Club. I was attending Fight Club. It was a different Fight Club than that was created by Chuck Palahniuk and Chuck Palahniuk, by the way, he was a Ukrainian. He had Ukrainian origin. So it was kind of different Fight Club because in his Fight Club, people would like drink and destroy each other. We were like different people who learned different martial arts, and we would have like half contact sparrings in order not to kill everybody, but just to learn something new. But of course, because we always wanted to have something different, I asked like, what if you try, you know, like fighting without gloves? Everybody was like, oh, let's do this. So we started like fighting without gloves, and it was cool. In the end, I offered that next time we would bring like baseball bats and you know, there's makivaras that could be used like, you know, like a shield, and just, you know,
Go hell for leather. Great.
Yeah. And everybody was like, yeah, sounds great. We gotta record it on the video. And there was some guy in the back of the crowd. He was like, yeah, I will bring chess.
No, there you go. I've been trying to promote into the Olympics full contact chess. I want to go for it.
There's already chess boxing. Did you hear about it?
No, but send me a link.
It's awesome. So it's like you have one round in chess, and then you go straight to the ring, and you have like one round of boxing. It's like after boxing, your brain is completely shut down, like, you know, and you still have to make your move.
You still have to think ahead.
Yeah. And then again, you go directly to the ring. So whoever wins.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. I've definitely got to see that. Oh, Dick's run away. Oh, Dave's back.
Stalemate. I know. I am. Yes, fun. Although he has left DK unsupervised. I'm not going to take responsibility for you. So the floor's yours if you want. You can just
all right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Now, Starsky, the drone situation. I mean, we've been loving seeing the use of modern day drones in this very, very special conflict that you're dealing with. Now, also, there's been lots of development of technology for robots on the battlefield. How cool do you think we might to see the Ukrainian army supplied with a truckload of autonomous combatees? Terminator style.
I suspect that our Japanese allies already must have something like that. But of course, the most advanced force in this regard, it's Russia. They have this robot Boris, this random man wearing this robotic suit, probably. They have this Sobachka, that little robotic dog with.
Well, in the UK, we had K9 and Metal Mickey. I don't think they'd do too well on the battlefield.
Yeah. So I probably showed you that picture already. It was like a dog that was bought on AliExpress, and they literally made some kind of costume for this robot. They took like scotch, attached the grenade launcher to its back. Yeah. So yeah, they are completely advanced in this regard, and oh my god.
Oh, that's funny.
See, you
look-
walk away for 5 minutes, Dick, and there you go. This is what you come back to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I picked a bad time to have to run upstairs quick. That's a shame. That's a shame. It looks like we definitely need to bring Aimee in and get ourselves caught up on a few things here. I wonder if she's handy and ready over there.
Oh, she says she's not quite ready yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't have the right windows up to be looking and reading, so I should have known better. So I think I should shut up and let Dave do something.
Said it. Yeah, don't worry about it. No. There's some wonderful little ditties that came in. That was spelled with a D, DK. That came in on the questions. No last name again. What Ukrainian holidays are coming up, and what are their significance?
Holidays.
If there are any.
In November. Oh yeah. So in October 14th, we have 3 holidays in one day. We have a religious holiday dedicated to the Mother of God. We have a holiday dedicated to Ukrainian Cossacks, because the Mother of God was their like protector. And that exactly day we celebrate the Day of Ukrainian Army, which is great. And then it's a significant holiday here in Ukraine. Then in November 13th, we celebrate a day of Apostle Andrei. So if it happened like before the invasion, I would probably get wasted. And in December you gotta like it. In Ukraine, we celebrate 2 Christmases, because we have Catholic Christmas on the December 25th, and we have an Orthodox Christmas on January 7th or around, and everybody likes that. We have 2 Christmases. It's awesome. You have 2 times more gifts, and stuff like that. Yeah,
and way more alcohol and food. I mean, how can that not be a win? How?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you start celebrating on December 25th. Then there will be like New Year, so we can have like holidays between the Christmas and the New Year, and then we're like, come on, there's like 7th of January, so we have like 2 weeks of holidays, like day offs, which is great. Only in Ukraine.
Nice. Although I have to throw out at this point, a similar sort of claim is made by the Americans, and they say, "Oh, we have the double Christmas and Thanksgiving as well. We also have our turkey." It's like, we just have a roast dinner every Sunday in the UK. They don't just have good food like all year. I don't know what they're doing for the rest of the year. They're just having shit food, just so they can, have some good food
mac and cheese
sometimes.
and hamburger helper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hungry
nice.
man. Christmas dinner style.
There was a very interesting question as well about how much winter affects the war. I think we might have answered this again a few weeks ago. Don't know if it's worth reminding everyone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
First of all, Russians will burn more fuel in order to keep their cars running, in order to keep themselves warmed. And of course, all the positions that are usually being made in tree lines, in between the trees, they will be completely, how do you say it? Our snipers will have good time shooting Russians.
And there's also
they'll be totally exposed.
Exposed. Yeah, that's the word.
And there's also the thing that you have to drive your Lotta further to find roadkill for supper if you happen to be an orc. So there's that too.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can, if it moves, then yeah.
Yeah.
If it moves, eat it or shag it.
I think we've got Aimee ready now, and we can get some super chats in. We've got a couple of member shout outs and all kinds of great stuff. This is excellent.
We do. We got a whole smorgasbord here. So I'm going to get right started. We have the first one from Jose Diaz for $20 American. Says, greetings from Puerto Rico. God bless our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Gloria a Ukrainia. And then we had, thank you so much, Jose. And then we have Sam Williams for New Zealand, $20, says, final one before I head out. Everything will be okay. Everything will be Ukraine. Good always trumps evil. Thank you so much, Sam. That's brilliant. And then we have M2M with a member message who says, I'm putting DKG forward for chess boxing. That's interesting. And then
I couldn't do boxing or chess. I'm shit at both.
That's brilliant. And then we need to welcome Jose Diaz as a new member. Welcome to Shill Apprentice. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. And then we have Raven7, also welcome to Shill Apprentice. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. And then we have Marco Endler for €5 who says, Ukraine Democracy Defense Lend-Lease Act of 2022. When will starting US with this, or is this still running? Thank you so much, everyone, for your support.
It was supposed to start around October, I think. At full. So we can expect that in October we will receive even more help, even more aid, including vehicles and artillery. So it's around October.
Okay. Too bad the famous Canadian sniper left Ukraine. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, I'm Canadian, so obviously that caught my eye. My Discord locked up. I was going to ask a question that was up, so I'm going to hand it over to Dave because I have to restart my Discord. I'm lost here. I got nothing.
That sucks. Never mind. You're all right. You're stuck with me. There was one that just came in, such as the one from Shayna. Do you have any holidays like Halloween? I know in the UK, obviously, we have Forks Night or Gunpowder Night on November the 5th of November, or whatever it is. What's the rhyme again, DK? Remember.
It's the 5th of November. The one that you couldn't remember.
Yeah, funny enough.
So in Ukraine,
we celebrate terrorists. I don't know why.
In Ukraine, we don't celebrate Halloween officially, but it's a hilariously popular holiday here among young people, teenagers and stuff. Old people are, old people are. They're what kind of holidays that young people love it, absolutely. And we have all restaurants decorated and streets and stuff, so it's very nice, even though it's not an official holiday. And there's another Western non-official holiday that is wildly celebrated in Ukraine is Saint Patrick's Day, because it's a good opportunity to get wasted.
That bloody St. Patrick, he gets everywhere around the world, doesn't he? I mean, it's like, fucking hell. No one actually cares about what the holiday's about. It's just like, wear green, get pissed.
What? Yeah, what is he, the patron saint of fermentation? Like, what's the deal with that?
I have no idea.
Saint of the Shills.
He's a buddy of mine, I fucking tell you.
He's a popular blog.
Yeah.
Never buys around, as far as I've heard.
Yeah. Too funny. Oh, look at that. We are literally, before the end of this stream, we're going to hit 5K subs. We need one. That's it.
Wow.
Thanks, everybody. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone. That's wonderful.
Well, I'm gonna sub just to fuck you up.
You're such a prick.
He is. He's terrible.
Everyone wants to be that 5,000th.
Oh, too funny. Well, we've got time to squeeze in just a couple more questions, and then we'll do our thoughts and wrap-ups and whatnot. So, hey, thanks, AK Croatia 74. See, I learned Starsky. Did you catch that? I got it. But we'll hand it over to Dave for a couple of last questions here, and see where we end up.
Yeah, I'm not sure you did. I think the 7 is the I, and the 4 is the A. So you're saying Croatia, but you're then saying the number again.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to point out that I know he's in Croatia now, and I get what the name means. We did just hit 5,000 subscribers, and Extreme Rider 25 is the number 5K. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I remember this channel way back in the day, don't you, Dick? I wasn't there at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you say the 5,000 subscriber gets to pick anything from the merch site for free? I'm sure you said that.
I didn't, but sure, we'll do that. I've got the name jotted down because it actually means something. So, Extreme Rider, get a hold of me and I'll make you a special coupon to grab something from the merch store.
Yeah.
There you go.
You didn't mean it.
Awesome. I'm not drinking right now, so I will actually remember that happened. Well, I might have a few later. So.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Shipping is $179, but you can have the T-shirt for free.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Oh, what was that guy's name?
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. It's right there too, and I can't remember.
Yeah, his ghost was chasing Kenny around on a South Park episode. That was too funny.
What, Billy Mays, was it?
Yeah, Billy Mays.
Yeah. Mentioned South Park, of course, we know what it is.
Well, I mean, at this point, we should probably do like thoughts and wrap-ups and whatnot and hit a couple of buttons. So, Aimee, do you want to be the host with the most and take us around?
Sure, I would love to do that. Thank you very much. It was a great evening. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for your support. It's been wonderful, and the wonderful questions. We always learn so much from these, so this is great. So I'm going to start right around the room, and I'm going to start with DKG Custom first. So, DKG, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Why are you picking on me? What have I done? Yeah, as usual, it's an absolutely fantastic night. I love talking to Starsky. He's such a great, cool dude. And and knowing what you have to go through as on top of everything else, you're still hanging out with us, your friend, family. We love you to bits. It's just great hearing from you. Funny you mentioned talk about Halloween. I'm gonna be the first to break news. We do have a very, very special show coming up. Halloween area on 29th of October, a very, very special Halloween night, and I hope you'll be there for that because it should be quite cool.
Excellent. That's going to be fun. Before I finish with the wrap-ups, I just have to grab this super chat really quick. We have Mando Cool Cut for $5 American says, last shout out for Ukraine Aid Ops. One of their members, Maria Drutska, also has a YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Mando. That's brilliant. Thank you. And thank you for your support as well. Thank you. And next up, we have Dave. What are your thoughts on this evening?
Wonderful night. I just want to actually shill, now that we are on the shills. We do occasionally actually do some shilling. And we do have a stream that's been delayed a number of different times. I think we're going to do it next week, Dick, and it's going to be with David Weiss, a flat earther who I recently had on my channel. If you're into all this debunking of Putin's bullshit, and just generally into debunking, it might be quite an interesting stream for everyone to jump into next week. So hit that subscribe, and you get a notification when we go live.
Yes, it will be something to be there for. It will be cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's going to be great. Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have our very own Operator Starsky. What are your thoughts on this evening?
It was great. It was great. I unfortunately I didn't prepare some specific story from my childhood. Yeah, but I will next time. I promise. Thank you so much for your support, and a lot of hugs to my friends in the chat and to all of you guys. I love you. You are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
And thank you. And next up, we have Dick Dawson. Dick, what are your thoughts and wrap-ups?
Great stream today. Once again, we're going to get the link in the description and whatnot after, but Starsky and Nick Soutter over there on the In Time show had a great chat today as well. If you missed it, I highly recommend you get over there and check it out. We'll get the link to you ASAP, and it will also be in the Discord as well to make sure that everybody can get to it. And, a reiteration. I mean, when you're hanging out with family, it's always a good night. I always hope and pray every time that Starsky gets together with us and I say, hey, how's things, that it's not going to be a horrific story. And, hopefully this is all fucking done and over soon, and Ukraine can stand tall, free, and, the way it should be. Absolutely. Slava Ukraini, everybody. And how about yourself, Aimee? Thoughts and wrap-ups?
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to be back. I was out for a couple of weeks, but we're back now. Woohoo! Great evening. Wonderful questions. Wonderful. We had a wonderful chat. So thank you, everyone in the chat, for coming. We appreciate you so much. And I want to thank everyone in the panel for coming as well, for stepping up to the plate and doing such a great job. And that's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you to everyone and stay safe. Slava Ukraini. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Slava.
Before we go, I'm just going to point out, if you enjoy the random gibberish that comes out of this channel, we do have pub chat coming up in 20 minutes. So come and join us with that, and see what happens. God knows what happens on that show. Until that, Starsky, kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major.
Let's get out of here. Slava Ukraini!
It's over. Go home.